Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Today we're going to be discussing Sam Bankman-Fried and Erik Voorhees' debate they had yesterday. We're getting ready to move, so we got some empty library shelves behind me. So look, here's the thing, guys. Sam Bankman-Fried's the devil. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet. I don't know if you guys have figured out his game plan yet. But I just want to go over once again what occurred, how I stumbled across all this information about Sam Bankman-Fried. I have a bill. It's going to be public, hopefully pretty soon. We're working on a lot of funding options. You guys are going to find out about it. It's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be phenomenal. People are going to get behind it in crypto. There's no doubt about that. When you look at my plan compared to his, it's not even close, okay? Through trying to get funding to this bill, we got in touch with the policy team at FTX. They sat on our bill for 3 weeks and tried to slow us down. Why? Because they were working on their own bill. One of our top advisors called their policy team and talked to them. Policy team said, yeah, they actually never had any plans on funding our bill. And they actually tried to steal the person from us, a high-level politician. Tried to steal this person from us and told this person that they were getting ready to start working on a federal BIT license. If you don't know the BIT license, in New York City, we're going to be doing a video on it soon, or New York State. You have to have a license to operate in the state of New York, okay? So why all kinds of exchanges and platforms are banned in New York, but you can use it other places. So that's how we stumbled across all this information. 5 or 6 weeks ago, we started sounding the alarm on Sam Bankman-Fried trying to do a federal BIT license. Now, we know Sam was watching my channel. How do we know this? Well, the day after we started, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, when we actually started saying what was happening, Sam Bankman-Fried's, one of his minions, Brett Harrison, who is kind of how all this information came out in the first place. Good job, Brett. The day we released all this information, the next day, Brett Harrison stepped down from FTX US. Shocking, huh? The next day after that, he followed me on Twitter. So we know that they're watching. I mean, we're not idiots. We have the biggest crypto channel in the United States. We have the most influence in the United States when it comes to crypto, especially when it comes to YouTube. We have the largest social media following out of everybody combined in crypto. So, you know, we're not small fish here like people want to pretend that we are. Now, here's the thing. The thing that occurred at that point is we started telling people Sam Bankman-Fried is going after decentralization, he's going after peer-to-peer. So what happens? Sam Bankman-Fried puts out this video or puts out this long manifesto about how he's actually, you know, they're pushing for whitelisting and block listing and all this stuff, but we're still for decentralization and we're still for peer-to-peer transactions. He actually, in that manifesto, was not using the word licensure, which is so interesting. In lieu of this conversation he had yesterday with Erik Voorhees, of course, of Shapeshift, one of the OSGs of all OGs in crypto. Now, so it's very interesting that the language was softened. Sam Bankman-Fried was basically trying to put out stuff for PR and spin to see how the crypto community was going to receive what he had to say. Now, obviously, it led to a lot of controversy surrounding me, him, Erik Voorhees, Bankless Podcast, yada, yada, yada. He ends up on Bankless Podcast with Erik Voorhees yesterday. Now, this was the most lopsided, one-sided debate I've ever seen in the history of mankind. Not only does Sam Bankman-Fried sound like a bumbling idiot that can't get across a point to save his life, but he would talk for 10 minutes straight and not say anything, and then Erik Voorhees would come on the debate and he would own him with one sentence. That's all it would take Erik Voorhees to do on the Bankless Podcast, is to go on there, which I'm going to be on there on Wednesday, by the way, I believe. Obviously, I'm going to tell my sad tale about how glasses ruined my life. Hope to get some sympathy. But the point is Erik Voorhees owned him so bad. Like, it was so ridiculous. Literally, Sam Bankman-Fried, this is where it all starts coming out, because he starts losing his composure. He starts losing his cool. His body language gets all slumped over. Erik Voorhees in command, in control the entire time. We'd love to get Erik Voorhees behind our bill. I think he's going to like what we're doing. Totally opposite of what Sam Bankman-Fried is doing. And I think it actually fits a lot of what Erik wants to see in crypto, but that's beside the point. The point is that every time Sam Bankman-Fried would start going down a rabbit hole, or a rabbit trail, he would get further and further down to where he finally starts talking about licensure. He's telling you what we've been telling you for 6 weeks. He wants a federal BIT license. And his whole argument is basically this. well, in crypto, we're going to have to give some concessions. So we need to give up decentralization. That's his argument. That's literally his argument. Erik Voorhees comes back with, well, yeah, but like, what about, like, let's say this was in the 90s and we're looking at email protocols. Sam Bankman-Fried so passionately defends email, right? Because he's such a white knight. He's such a bumbling idiot white knight for anything that's social justice. So here he comes. Oh no, we want to protect the free speech of the people. We want to protect their ability to be able to communicate with each other and to be able to transact, with communication and messaging and blah, 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 blah. So then, after he goes on this super passionate, standing up speech where he's standing up and he's driving home the point, like, we are for the people. We want the people to choose when it comes to email. We want to protect the email protocol. That was the right thing. I will fight so passionately for that. Why? Because it has to do with, with social justice and keeping my. And Erik comes back with, okay, what about Aave? What about Aave? What about the Aave protocol? Well, see, Erik, when it comes to, with my little afro, when it comes to, payments and transactions, we just feel like it's a little bit different. People should, we need licensing so people can make sure, because there's scammers out there. There's not email scammers out there, SBF? How many emails do you guys get per day from spam? How many do you get per day? How many per day? How many Nigerian prince lottery scams do you get sent to your spam folder every single day? But here's the thing. The email protocol is protected. But when it comes to DeFi, Sam does not want Aave protected. Why? What? Well, here we go. We got a centralized exchange CEO talking about buying the other biggest exchange in America, Coinbase now. You've got this guy talking about licensure so people cannot send decentralized transactions. You can't use DeFi. Why? And Erik lays this out great to him. You know as well as I do, Sam, that a decentralized exchange is not going to be able to get licensure. And Sam says, yeah, we know. It's all about padding his pockets. And the jig for Sam Bankman-Fried, well, it's up. People know. This week, and I'm so glad. We got way more on this, by the way. We have so much more on Sam Bankman-Fried. There's a good chance he goes to prison by the time we're done with him, but that's another story. We know FTX has directed people to delete evidence, and we have evidence of that. So Sam, you should be scared. Should be scared about what I got, because I'm getting it from a lot of sources. Sam, all of your greatest enemies that you've ever shorted to the ground, guess who they're coming to with all the information? The guy that won't shut up. I have a poll on Twitter. Do you think he's going to try to take me out, put a hit on me? You think he's going to sue me? Or you think he's going to get his hair cut first? You guys go check that poll on Twitter. But the point here is this, is that Sam Bankman-Fried does not have your best interest at heart. He absolutely does not. And Erik Voorhees laid this out so well for him, and he just had no rebuttal. He had no response. One of the hosts, the guy with the glasses, a Bankless said, oh, don't worry, we're not going to make, be careful, to say, you don't have to worry about being careful because, we're not going to make a gotcha clip out of this answer. Because you could tell Sam kind of eased up a little bit, got a little hesitant for some stuff he was about to say. Sam, the entire podcast was a gotcha clip. The entire thing. There's not one moment from that entire podcast where you have any idea in your mind that, I think Sam Bankman-Fried, I think he should run crypto. I think he should be the one to decide the regulation. I don't know how he can sit in the room with any congressperson or senator and actually make sense with them. That makes no sense to me, because this man can't complete one sentence that has meaning or value to it. Not one sentence can he make to defend his point and make it seem like he's right about anything. Because here's the thing, he's not right. We cannot have a centralized exchange CEO making regulation in crypto. Absolutely not. And I will tell you this. So here, let me tell you what I've been hearing the last couple days. We are very plugged in politically, and I will tell you that. We've been hearing that right now, when it comes to the Senate, no one wants to touch Sam Bankman-Fried right now. He's so toxic right now. They are easing back. It's almost like I had this plan that we were going to come out, we were going to fight against him. And it really is. It really is us versus SBF is what you're going to find out. And a lot of this is personal between him and me because he tried to steal my person. Punk me out, Sam. But the point here is that when it comes to what's happening out there, you're going to find out it's going to shape up. It's going to be my bill versus his bill. And you're going to have to choose. And most people in crypto, almost everyone in crypto, there's not a centralized exchange CEO, is going to ride what we're doing, because what we're doing gives crypto a seat at the table in a fair way, to where we actually have a hand in choosing the crypto regulation that comes, instead of leaving it up to one person, one centralized exchange CEO. So I had this idea that, man, we were going to really have to fight against him. And, I didn't have to say a word. He made himself look like an idiot. He made himself look like the devil. He made himself look like he's trying to control the space in a manipulative way. And I don't think there's one major person in crypto right now, not one major person outside of maybe his little lackey, Brett Harrison, that'll get behind him and say, yeah, we're for what Sam's doing. Nobody is. Nobody. He has zero people on his side. And before we're done, even his little lackeys are going to have to run from him, because they may have to testify against him. So my thoughts on the debate are this. He looked like an idiot. Nothing he says makes sense. Erik Voorhees absolutely destroyed him. If you look at the word count, it was about 90% Sam, 10% Erik. Erik hardly had to say anything. And one of my favorite things about the debate is you could actually see Erik smirk. You could actually see Erik smirk when he would ask a question to Sam, because he knew that he was driving home point after point after point without even having to say anything, because Sam himself kept putting himself further and further and further down on the mat. Several people were saying in the chat, throw the towel in, throw the towel in. Somebody should have thrown the towel in. So somebody should have stopped Sam from speaking if they knew what was best for him. But Sam is so arrogant. And you guys are going to find out when we get into covering a lot more of this investigative stuff about projects he's absolutely destroyed, projects he's shorted to zero, the crooks at Alameda Research that had to rebrand and he had to get removed from it even though he owns 90%. And this is not a secret in the project world. This is not a secret in the VC world. Everyone sees. I'll tell you this. I actually had a major marketing person from a major crypto exchange reach out to me. And you know what they said? Finally, someone's telling the truth. Finally, someone is telling the truth about this devil, about this person who is trying to drive crypto into the ground. And the only way he's going to be able to do it is over my dead body. All right, guys, that's all I got. Let me know. Drop comments below. You guys go watch the Bankless podcast. You guys know me and the Bankless podcast. We've had some issues over the last couple weeks, but whatever. They hosted it and did a good job. They didn't say anything. They just let them talk the whole time, which was good. But you guys go to the Bankless podcast on YouTube. You guys watch the Sam Bankman-Fried versus Erik Voorhees debate, and then come back and drop your comments down below. I want to know what you guys thought about it. And if you guys want a really fun experience, go watch it with the live chat and see once I start jumping in the chat. Altcoin Daily's in the chat. Hit Network's in the chat. Bitcoin is in the chat. You guys go check that out. Let us know what you think. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. I don't know if you can watch the whole thing because it's that hard to watch. But let me know. Drop those down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.